Boxing Voice.
Omar La Panterita Figueroa. So I guess my first question is, why no Joel Diaz this time around?
It's not necessarily, no Joel Diaz. It's just, having my daughter around. As many people know, I'm not with my baby mama. So, it's hard for me to leave and then not see her. If I was with her mom, then I'd just take her mom and have them both there, and we'd be there as a family. But unfortunately, that's not the case. So it's hard for me to leave from home and just leave her and not see her at all for 2 months or however long I'm gone for. So it's just it's hard for me. So I told my dad I didn't want to do that anymore. That I'd rather risk my career than risk my relationship with her or have her hold that against me later when she's older for whatever reason.
Now, I completely understand that a lot of people have those emotions, they're physically or mentally tied to their children, but this is your job, and this is how you provide for that little girl. And she would want the best version of you in the ring because, let's face it, this is a tough sport. You didn't factor that in, that, and I'm not saying or insinuating that your father can't train you properly, but, you're getting world-class sparring when you're going into Joel Diaz gym. And, I'm sure your daughter, once she gets older, she would want her father to be able to protect himself at all times and be the best that he can be.
Oh, yeah. But, due to my injury and my hand being messed up, it's hard for me to get the quality of sparring in that I would normally get. So, these past camps, I hadn't really been sparring much. I've been holding back a lot because of my hand. So I figured, I'm not getting basically the quality of training and sparring wasn't the same because of my hand. I couldn't really go 100%, or I couldn't really spar the quality of opponents that I would be able to spar. And if I did, it was a lot harder for me, because I didn't have, I wasn't 100%. So that did factor in. Of course, I took that into account. But I know myself, and I know that I can train here, that my dad can get me the quality of sparring, maybe if not quality, quantity, and I know we can make it work from here. And honestly, nothing against Joel or his family or California. I loved it over there. Honestly, I still text him now, and I tell him, I miss you guys, I miss the gym, I miss California, I miss jogging in the mountains and the trails, and every day I miss everything over there. But at the same time, I'm with my family. I have my daughter, most importantly. She's in timeout right now because she misbehaved earlier. But, I have my mom here taking care of me, too. She helps me with my hand treatments, with my meals, with, I have my whole family would go to the gym with me. And it just, honestly, it's been a million times better. Mentally, I feel a lot more prepared. I feel like never before. I feel great.
Now, physically, are you 100%? Because you said that you left because you couldn't spar 100%. Are your hands still a factor?
My hands, honestly, they feel a lot better. I'm not going to say they're 100% because no boxer goes into the ring 100%. I'm not going to say I'm 100%, but I'm pretty darn close, and I feel good right now. And my hand, it did mess up a couple times when I first started camp, but I've been getting therapy. I've been, working on it, exercising them, and it felt a lot better the last couple times I sparred. So, like I said, I'm not going 100% because I'm not going to risk my hands during sparring. I'll just, save them for the fight. But we found a way to work around it. We already, it's something, like I said, in boxing, a boxer never goes 100% into a fight. And if they do, well then, God bless them, lucky them, good for them. But normally there's always something. There's always some obstacle that you have to cross in order to, first off, make it to the fight. I mean, because really, if you think about it, we put our bodies through so much. We risk ourselves every day when we go out jogging, we're sparring, we're training, whatever we do, we risk ourselves because, I mean, accidents happen. So, and we need our body, every part of our body. There's not one part of our body that we say, oh, well, that's, it's extra or it's unnecessary. I can afford to lose it. No, I mean, as a boxer, we need every part of our body. So, it just, like I said, you learn to work around it. If it's, if a boxer has a problem with a foot or whatever, they learn to work around it or whatever it might be. So we've learned to work around it. We're focusing a lot more on cardio and conditioning, and the weight. Obviously, I mean the weight's great. So we're shifting our momentum different ways and trying to encompass everything as best as we can.
Now, how much longer do you think that you'll be at 135?
I'm not too sure. That depends on this fight and how I feel for the weigh-in on this fight. Because to be honest, I never really believed that the whole, oh, your body's gonna mature, your body's gonna grow, and your body is this and that. I never really believed it. I thought, it was like, well, I already turned 21. How much more bigger can I get, or how much more mature, or whatever can I get? But it's one thing when other people tell you, dude, you look huge, like you look huge, or whatever. And then, when you see it yourself in your body, and you're like, damn, like, I remember when I was fighting, 4 years ago, I looked nowhere near, the way I do now. I'm not saying I look like, I have the physique of a Mr. Olympia. It's just, my body is just big, my back, my legs. It's crazy, but like I said, we're gonna try our best to stay at 135 as long as possible, because there are some interesting fights at 135, obviously, that I wouldn't mind making. But it really just depends on my body and how it feels and how I do for this fight.
All right. I guess last but not least, seeing the war that you had with Arakawa, so I guess my question is, are you still willing to entertain that type of war, knowing the physical damage that it caused you? Now you have to live with your hands being an issue every fight. Would you still get into those wars?
Oh, definitely. My hand had been an issue before. I injured my hand when I had 9 fights or so, and it was a problem ever since. I never backed down from anything, and honestly, the only reason I engaged in such a war is because I still thought I could stop him, and he was taking a lot of shots, and I felt like one of those shots could do it. And at the same time, he didn't hit hard at all, so I didn't really have to, dodge his punches or look out for his punches. It was mainly, just flesh wounds or whatever you call them. So I didn't really have to, I didn't worry too much about his power. But no, definitely, we do have to fight smarter. We have to, obviously be more aware of my body and the damage that it takes, for the longevity of my career. But if that's what it comes down to, I just, I'm not gonna shy down. If that's the only way to go, that's how we're gonna go.
So what's your prediction when you meet Daniel Estrada?
Finish him as soon as possible. Try and finish him as soon as possible. If I'm gonna go out there and attack, and he says he's gonna do the same to me, so we'll meet in the center of the ring, and we'll see who's the stronger and better, and who has the most balls and most heart. But at the same time, we're gonna adapt, and we're gonna see, what suits us best in the ring.
Well, Omar, thank you. As always, the Boxing Voice always appreciates the time you give us, and we wish you the best come August 16th.
Yes, sir. No problem. I appreciate your call.
All right. Bye-bye.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
The Boxing Voice.